basically two CV types of CV formats. One is basically what's called a chronological. And what that does is chronological is really good to showcase your skills, to showcase, you have a progressive and responsibility, and really show what you have done. And so it's really good to show this increase in responsibility. But what it also does too, the drawback on the functional is because you're using a lot of dates and stuff, it really draws attention. Hey, Big Diamond Flora, how are you? It calls attention to two things. It calls attention to limited experience. It calls attention to gaps. So the way you get around that is this. And the way you get around it is by using what, like I put in there. It's a functional CV. And when a functional CV does this, it really showcases your skills as it relates to the job description, and it de-emphasizes your job history, and it helps to then de-emphasize any gaps. But again, if you do have gaps or limited experience, it's always going to be picked up on the interview. And hey, thanks, Black Chocolate, for the hand heart. That's really nice. Very much appreciated. So yeah, so that is very much appreciated. So it is so what it is at that point is, so it de-emphasizes, it allows you to really focus on your skills. And so what it does allow you then to focus on your skills. It allows you to, de-emphasize any gaps. And so what it's really good for people who have very kind of a limited career history, very sporadic career history, gaps, or maybe you have done, something here, something there, and you've kind of bounced around. So it's really good. It draws away from that. And so it's really important, when you're applying for jobs, to really focus on the skills. And that's where it seems to be a little bit of a trend right now, is there's a bit of a trend to focus on skills. Now, the question really becomes is, how do you do that when you really don't have paid work experience? And and what it does is, so the way you get around and not having any really paid experience is this. You need to draw on your previous skills. So you've said you've done volunteering. So take a look at the skills you've developed from volunteering. Take a look at the skills that you developed from any education, any skills that you have developed from extracurricular activities, things that you may have done. But what you really need to be able to do is think about the skills that you have as it relates to that job description. List that in your CV as the skills on a functional CV. So when you're doing your functional CV, draw on those skills, but you really need to think about, if you get into, when you get into an interview situation, all right, are you going to be able to evidence that? Are you going to be able to say to them, I did this,